Uh-oh, children of God. We're in the epic soap opera drama of I didn't pay attention enough, and now I don't have enough money, and I didn't pay attention enough. But what was I going to do? This stupid country was going to take a bite out of all the money I ever get or make anyway. But I don't have barely no money. And it turns out whatever broke is expensive. So I'd blame it on the United States and assume that they made sure something very expensive broke, because I don't remember. I don't remember my constant auto mechanic mentioning something very expensive and important that would break soon. But the reality is I didn't care either. I was messing around, driving fast, blowing up evil god enemies with the engine, messing around and not using my powers to make sure nothing would happen. So this is my first job. I have to use my own act of God on myself. I've shown you severe car accidents that I have created. Not really. Like, I didn't always create them at the time. A lot of those car accidents are bad people that laughed against my existence or did bad things. So a lot of those car accidents were just like the Flying J. They just overdo everything they can think of or do against God until really, really, really bad things happen. And it's my job as a God, though, to show up right before the car accident or something and laugh in their brain. Or say, this is what you get for doing sickening things against God you knew you had no business doing. Or, boy, my queen was that easy right before you hit the windshield, you dumb fucker. So it's just my job as a God to sit and say, ha ha, see, now I can say ha ha forever while you have car accidents and lose everything. But really, you should have just thought or said, my queen, found out I was real, had some basic decency and respect anyway. Like, all of this boils down to stupid, gross shit. Humanity can't even have basic decency and respect, or else I would float through earth, go back to heaven, and it wouldn't be too much of anything. They just have to bond with the devil and sit on the abuse of my existence until, like, their locations start on fire and shit. And it's like, oh my gosh. But anyway, I've been working acts of God in miracles, in good things like wealth I could bring to people. I've been working all these acts of God, but I've been willy-nilly weird about myself. Just doing whatever. And I played games with the brakes. I broke the brakes to go to Seattle. I made the brakes last. I got some help from a God who helped the brakes last longer. I've just been a weird, ridiculous God that's been through too much down here and doesn't want to care about stuff. I just want to be willy-nilly, do whatever. Because I know I'm being responsible. I'm putting the power of God and miracles for people and their holidays. And that's all really that matters when you're a God. Is putting nice things out there for people to get the power of God and have better days. And like the rest, it's not really as important. But I guess, this is kind of important. Because it costs too much money to fix that I don't have. So this really nice mobile mechanic guy, he's like, I'll try. I can try to make it work. I can try to get a belt and make it work. And it works or it don't, and you might be able to earn a little bit more money until you can buy the fancier part or whatever and figure it out. And it's like, oh, thank you. So this is my first act of God to cover up my stupidness and laziness, loserness. I'm very responsible as a God in the love of everybody else, but like willy-nilly with myself. I'll admit to it. So I'm going to have to use the power of God and overdo whatever he's going to do to make it work. Then I gotta see if I can work for the day to just make some money. Then I think I'm gonna have to go to City Auto in the morning and see if they can just check it over and see if it is possible to willy-nilly keep it running that way. Or whether I gotta sit for another day homeless at the City Auto. And hopefully, if I gotta sit at the City Auto for a day and I end up having to get this part, hopefully whatever he does today, I can just go to work and make enough money to be able to pay the City Auto guy tomorrow the total amount of money. So it's like, if you ever become a psychic, never be as lazy as me. If you ever get powers from gods, never be this lazy, because now look, I have to go research with my powers whether I can take what that nice man's gonna do and keep the engine and keep the car running enough to make enough money. And then will I make enough money to get to City Auto? Because in the end, I'm gonna have to fix the whole thing. And will I make enough money to fix the whole thing? And then when I could have just used my powers and I wouldn't have been stuck like this. But no, I'd rather watch somebody win $1 million at Pachanga, play games, killing my evil god enemies in an engine of a car, not care about a stupid bill, and end up in this predicament. I feel like I'm a god in confessionatory, trying to remind everybody with powers to never ever be like me. Oh well, this is what happens. But the fun thing is that this reminds me of something I can tell you guys. If you can learn to jerry-rig your engine, the power of God can carry jerry-rigging like it's nothing. So if you guys can, if you ever want to think or say, my queen, my engine is too expensive, the mechanic can fix it, but I don't have enough money. A god or an angel who answers my queen can jerry-rig everything for you guys, as long as you can do some makeshift stuff. So like, if you can find somebody who knows a little bit about cars and will help you do one or two stupid things that the gods will show you or tell you to do. Or if you know how to jerry-rig something or just get it to be running and it's running good enough, then you can find out from gods and angels, based on your morals, how long they can use the power of God to help that jerry-rigging to unrealistically run perfectly. So you can make enough money or do what you got to do until you can fix it. So I just thought, wow, this is a blessing, because I just was reminded to teach you guys something that you wouldn't normally think to wake up and teach people something like this, because you don't think of it until you need it. But just like the joy of being homeless and having absolutely nowhere to be and no responsibility, no stress, this is a big thing, I think, for people when they need it. When you guys need it, you're going to love that a god can use the power of God to jerry-rig your engine, so your engine's just good enough while you make enough money or something to pay the bill to fix your car. And then I'm just going to be really grateful for this sweet, sweet mobile mechanic boy. This sweet mobile mechanic boy is going to try to see if he can just get the car up and running. And like I said, I'll have to use the power of God and be responsible and do the rest, because I did this to myself. And make sure to put a lot of power of God into his Christmas, so he has a really, really good thank you Christmas for my dumb mistakes. Did I do it on purpose to just sit here at Martha's? Maybe. Did I do it on purpose to be able to teach you about jerry-rigging and remind myself to remind you guys? Maybe. Am I such a god and it's obvious and a lot of people that just look around already know? Maybe. But that's the fun. That's the fun of the magic of God. You can choose life or death, blessing or cursing, just like the Bible says, forever. You can believe I am whatever you want. Or you can just want to know if I'm real. Kind of look around and analyze life and realize that I am. Why and how do I know this? The city auto people. When I started talking about the engine and the car and the power god and unrealistic, the city auto people started really thinking and thinking and thinking. Is she just crazy? Because we'd notice if the brakes are always weird or abnormal. We'd notice if things about the car are always weird or abnormal because, like, we change the car and check the car all the time when it comes to certain things. And they started noticing highly, overwhelmingly unrealistic, weird reality about a car connected to me. And that never happens unless you're Jesus or God walking the earth.